And when you go into the Latin of those documents, what you find is a language system of domination, an actual code of domination that constructs a reality of domination and dehumanization. That's what's existing in the world at this time. So the profound nature of what it is we're embarked upon to deal with these old documents. Oh yeah, they're just old documents. No, they're the very basis of the domination and dehumanization we see across the planet at this time. There's a sentence in one of the Vatican documents which reads like this in Latin, okay? And it's sub actuali dominio temporali aliquorum dominorum Christianorum constitute non assaint. And what that means is any lands not under the domination of any Christian dominator. Dominorum Christianorum means Christian dominator. Constitute is to constitute. Right? So really what it's saying is that when they go to a land where Christian domination has not yet been constituted and has not yet been put under sub actuali any actual temporal dominion, meaning domination, wherever they locate those kinds of lands, they have the right to establish and constitute Christian domination in that place. Now, if you don't go to the Latin, you'll never get to what I'm telling you. Because if you go with the English translation, the translators use euphemisms. And so what do they put for Dominorum Christianorum? Christian lords. And right there's the obfuscation and the euphemistic use of lords instead of dominator. So it's and if you type that into the Google Translate, you get Christian lords. You don't get Christian dominator. But when I asked a Latin scholar from Africa, who was where was he from? Wesleyan University, I think. I asked him, "What does Dominorum Christianorum mean?" He said, "Christian dominator." He said it just that fast. He never paused for even a second. You know. When I spoke with the Vatican ambassador, the nuncio of the Holy See at the UN Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues, and I didn't know that was his position. I just knew he worked with the Holy See. I said, "You probably know Latin. What does Dominorum Christianorum mean?" And he paused and he said, "Well, probably lords, probably master, probably mister. Yes, mister." And I said, "So in other words, land's not possessed by any Mr. Christian?" And he said, "Well, it's best not to translate it into English because it would not fit." Then our conversation ended, and I had gone off to the main hall where everything was happening, and I entered the doorway. Was standing just inside the doorway, talking to this gentleman next to me, kind of looking out over the room, and that man from the Holy See entered and walked over to where their seat is. You know. And then the next thing I knew, a little while later, he was back in front of me, and he took me by the arm and pulled me out of the room. Wow. And the door shut, and it was very quiet out in the hall, and he said, "You know that term you're talking about, I believe that's referring to Jesus Christ or God." And I said, "Well, then I have another question for you. There's another sentence in the document." Now, I've never said what document it is. I'm just speaking extemporaneously like that. And I said, "There's another sentence in the document that says, 'We trust in Him,' with a capital H on Him." And he says, "That's Jesus Christ or God." And I continue and I say, "From whom empires and dominations and all good things proceed." So if the empires and dominations are coming out of Him, who is Jesus Christ or God, does that mean it's a God of domination? And he said, "Well, everything comes from God. The birds and the trees." And what was your name again? So I think that they never imagined that we would get as deep into their documents and into the system of meanings that they've been using all these centuries.